When I first started on my path to live food, I was so excited to discover all the potential in using vegetables and fruits and nuts and seeds to make delicious dishes like pizza and pasta, tomato chili with taco nut meat, cakes like this one. This is a coconut cake made with a Nutella chocolate fudge sauce, frosted with a cashew cream and topped off with coconut, and even effervescent probiotic drinks that are delicious like this kefir. And so I was absolutely turned on by raw foods and all the health benefits. They made me feel really great, gave me mental clarity, focus, helped me lose weight without even trying. So it inspired me to develop all my books and recipes so that they would be super simple, very fast and easy to make using just a handful of everyday ingredients. Let me show you how. I'm going to show you how to make a probiotic drink that's super healthy and really refreshing and delicious. It's called Kefir. It's similar to this really popular kombucha drink that we're finding in all the natural food stores. And in our country, in America, we don't have a lot of probiotics in our foods, where my background is Korean. And in Korean culture, we have kimchi, and I know in Germany there's pickles and sauerkraut. There's a lot of fermented foods, and our bodies actually need the probiotics to build healthy intestinal flora through our digestive tract. In America, we really love antibiotics, but the antibiotics actually damage off a lot of the good bacteria along with the bad. And so by drinking things like kefir, kombucha, Rejuvelac, it helps to rebuild all the friendly bacteria in our system. So this is what it looks like. Kefir is made using grains, and so I'm making a water kefir today. So you use water kefir grains. They're different from milk kefir. But basically, that is what is floating in the bottom of this jar. This jar has been brewing for 48 hours already. So I'm going to be pulling out our pear, which I put into this batch. So this brew, I'm going to pour through a plastic sieve because you never want to touch metal to any of this because it's going to damage the living culture. So this is actually the culture. It's called kefir water grain, and this is what eats up the sugar. So it's amazing. This is sugar water, and after 48 hours, it doesn't taste sweet at all. It tastes like a really light, effervescent, sort of champagne type of flavor. Now I'm gonna make a brand new batch starting from scratch of kefir. So what I'm gonna do is use a glass jar. Again, we never want metal to touch the grain. It'll damage the culture. I'm gonna take about 4 cups of water. I'm going to pour it into I like to use these big mason jars. And then I'm going to put 2 types of sugar into my mix. I'm going to put about 1/3 of a cup of white cane sugar and a little bit of turbinado. We're going to add our sugar mixture into the water. And it is amazing, but this living culture eats up all the sugar, I promise. After 2 days, it's not going to taste sweet anymore. So I'm going to give this a little stir, help the sugar to dissolve. You can use fresh. Today I'm going to be using dehydrated pears, but you can also just slice up fresh fruit and put a few slices in there. And I'm going to put some chunks of ginger in. And then all I'm going to do is add my grains back into the water so that it can eat up all the sugar and ferment this wonderful cultured drink for me. And that is it. I'll give it one more final stir. And so what I like to do is, this is great. Since this is glass, I'll use a dry erase marker, and I like to write today's day. So now I know when 48 hours is up to pour this out, my batch, and then make a whole new batch again from scratch. So what I'm going to do with this jar is put it into a dark cabinet and just leave it. I don't even touch it for 2 days. If this is your first batch of kefir, you're going to have to first buy some water kefir grains. You can get them online, and I have a couple websites in the back of my book in the resources section of where you can get them. But it's an initial investment of maybe like $10, and it's going to last you an entire lifetime. So if you take care of your grains, they will continue to grow and continue to proliferate. And as they keep multiplying, you can then take off the excess and give them to your family and friends so that they don't have to go and buy them, and then you could just like pass them around. Supposedly these grains have been around for centuries and centuries, and that's exactly how, because they actually started from one culture thousands of years ago in Asia. I am now eager to try the brew that I just pulled out. Ooh, and that looks really good. It smells really nice from the pear and the ginger. And it's really refreshing. And it's so good for you. So I love to have this after a meal. If I also feel like I've eaten a little bit too many sweets, I like to drink it because I know that the culture in it is going to be eating the sugar out of my body. I also like to drink about a half a cup of it right before bed on an empty stomach, and that is when it actually builds all the healthy bacteria in our body overnight while we're sleeping. So cheers.